What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the Pavement Group podcast. I'm here with Tony Grout. What's happening, pal?
Hey, bud. How are you?
I'm good. We're working through some technical difficulties. Yeah. Interestingly enough, Tony took podcasting in college, so he's able to work us through these difficulties. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. I nailed it with a 1.97 on that class.
Yeah. Did you really?
Oh,
Were you doing it from home at that time?
Dude, I don't know if was there a computer back then? I'm not sure.
I don't know. Isn't that amazing to think about that? Like, I took a typing class in high school on a typewriter, and I feel like it wasn't that long ago. I mean, it was, but I try to tell my children about that, and they just can't wrap their minds around it, you know?
Same. Did the same thing. Yeah. Typing.
Here they are doing high school and college from home.
And I still type like a chicken, Todd.
Yeah. Hunting, pecking?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. That was like a badge of honor back in the day, though, if you could type, like, what is it, 120 or 140 words per minute?
I don't even know. Never got to that point.
No, I bet you did. I bet you were. You're just being, you know.
Yeah.
Anyhow, you're being a little self-deprecating, Tony. I think you're a tremendous typer. But I wonder, you could probably type faster with your thumbs now. Like, things have really evolved.
Say, like, if I added those in, all right, we'll give it a whirl.
Right on, man. So what I was hoping this week we could do, I wanted to talk a little bit about our subcontractors. I don't know why I'm having trouble getting words out here, but our subcontractor network. We've been so fortunate to build out like a tremendous subcontractor network over the last 4 or 5 years, and there's some, I don't want to say secrets to it, but I think we take a different approach. Starting with the relationship, just like we do with our customers. And you've got a lot of experience doing this, and you've had a lot of success. And I see the relationships you have throughout the industry. It's really, it's impressive. It's wonderful to watch that grow. What do you think? Like, if you had to give 1 or 2 tips to somebody that's doing what we're doing on how to build a great subcontractor network, what would they be?
I mean, you nailed it right there. First, it's the relationship, right? You create that relationship. Obviously, quality of work plays into it huge, right?
Yeah.
But it's the little things that make it good for us, right? You gotta have that communication. You've got to have that. It's all covered in the details, right?
Yeah, sure.
So we're just looking for people with good communication skills. Obviously, a great sense of pride in the work and the product they put out. And, I call these guys sometimes just to chat, right? I mean, find out how their family's doing and stuff like that. But it's just building that solid relationship. Obviously, the workload that we give them, and then, just keeping them happy out there.
Yeah. We're keeping them happy with good support, good communication from our end of things.
Yep.
Some of our best contractors are smaller companies who might not have the same technology or tools in place that we have, right? But their ability to communicate in different ways, whether it's just picking up the phone, getting right back to you, if it's email, if it's text. Do you ever see that being a hurdle, the technology, say, that we use, that we have in place versus what a smaller company might have?
I mean, sometimes, but, you kind of can feel that out. And obviously everybody walks around with a phone in their hand with a camera on it, right? So
yeah, sure.
I'd be just touching base with them. Hey, man, just take me a picture of what you see. Take me a picture of what happened today. Take me a picture of how it looks, right?
Yeah.
And I just kind of hound them to do that on a daily basis. That way we're always in the know. We can keep our customers up to speed, because the worst thing is if they come out and they tell us, hey, this is messed up over here, and you don't know anything about it. So
right on.
It's the ones that stay in close contact with us.
I had a customer tell me, national customer, this was a few years ago, that they had a job, and I'm not going to name the state or whatever, but it was a very rural part of the country, and they literally had their completion photos mailed to them. So someone took the pictures on a Kodak or something, went and had them developed and mailed them to them. So it isn't like everybody shows up on the job site, with their iPhone or
that's crazy,
or whatever. Different ways of getting that accomplished. But I think as long as there's a responsiveness, right, and there's an understanding of this is what the expectation is, we'll help you in any way that we can get that accomplished, right?
Right. And all of our folks are up to speed on site maps and how to create them, and being able to communicate with them, let them
Sure.
tell us how they're going to do the job, where they're going to start, and then we can put a little site map together, coordinate back and forth. Hey, is this what you're saying? And that way we can put that onto our customer so they know exactly what phase is going on at any given time.
That's a lot of trust. So you run our operations division, and you're putting a lot of trust into our partners.
No, you have to.
You do, but and sometimes you got to build that trust pretty quickly, right? That speed
absolutely.
of trust. And are there things that you do, questions that you ask, or observations that you have about their company that helps you get there a little bit quicker?
I mean, it's in this day and age, I kind of know the questions to ask when you're talking to somebody about asphalt. You can ask questions about what projects have you done recently, what kind of equipment you have. I mean, Google and Google Earth, will bring you to their website, and hopefully that is something they take pride in, and they've got their team, their projects, stuff that they've done, and then obviously you can even hone in on where their office is on Google Earth, and you can see their
yard, see how it's kept,
their facility, how clean it is, and stuff like that. But just getting on the phone and talking to them, and you can almost tell right away. Plus our name's getting out there, and people have heard of the Pavement Group and have worked with the Pavement Group, or know somebody that has, and are excited to team up with us. So that's one of the bonuses of being successful like we have been here recently.
Well, I'm always surprised by how many referrals we get in industry that say either, we don't do that type of work, but call John over here, or, we're a little too busy, call Steve over here, whatever it is. Those are always, generally the best ones, right? If somebody's going to stake their reputation, their name by giving somebody else's. That's cool. So how did we got some questions, right? Our director of marketing, Miranda, had put out a call for questions, the old ask me anything, ask us anything. And we got a few. I didn't think we'd get them this quick, but we did, Tony.
Nice.
So what people want to know, how did you get into the industry? You talked a little bit about it last time, but what was the day you started in construction? What were you doing the day before, and what did that first day look like?
Crazy story. So, I came down to Florida in 1994. Mm-hmm. Not soon after that, had a little one on the way. So little one, not so little anymore, but needed some insurance, and got with a friend, and he worked for an asphalt company, and said, "Hey man, we've got the best insurance around. Why don't you come work with us?" Mm-hmm. Okay, well, what do you got? Well, we can put you on the paving crew, which was a very interesting first job.
Day one, you're on the paving crew.
Day one, I was a shovel man on an asphalt crew in West Palm Beach.
Wow, what kind of stuff were you doing? Was it like a driveway crew, or were you doing?
No, we were. That was It was a heavy highway company, so everything we did was DOT stuff.
Wow.
So since 1994, Todd, I've been in, and I've been looking for a way to get out, and I can't do it.
Oh, you haven't. You have not. You love it.
I cannot do it.
So how long did you stay on a crew, or that crew?
That didn't last too long. That's one of those things where I figured this isn't where I want to be, and obviously was looking for, probably it got to be about noon that first day when I was trying to figure out a way to get off of that crew.
Not easy work. It is not easy.
I spent a month on that crew, and
do you remember what month it was? So you're in Florida. Was it the summer?
Oh man.
I mean, do you remember it being real hot?
I mean, it's always hot, dude. You know the deal. I mean, if it's not hot, you can just stand next to that paver, and it's 300 plus degrees, right?
Yeah. Good point.
So plus add that to Florida. Kanan was born in April, so I'm gonna think, go back from there. It had to be some of the hot months in there, right?
Yeah.
Probably right about this time of year, I would say. But that wasn't where I wanted to be, obviously, but obviously got me in the door. And got put on to the maintenance of traffic crew pretty soon after that. So I spent a lot of days and nights throwing barricades on I-95 and the Florida Turnpike and wherever else we were working. So
yeah,
that kind of catapulted me there.
Is that nerve-wracking?
Oh my Lord!
Doing the traffic control on a highway.
Because everything kind of in the where we were working, everything depended on me closing that lane, right?
Oh yeah.
So they couldn't do anything, get any milling going, whatever. So it was, you were the integral part. You're the first guy there and the last guy standing, right?
Yeah, sure.
So that kind of got me, learning the paving business, the milling operation, the trucking, everything, where people had to go, where, anticipating where they had to go next. And I probably spent a good part of 2 or 3 years doing that. And I had one of the best bosses in the business that kind of saw what I was doing and kind of like dragged me into a foreman and then a supervisory role. And then I finally got into project management. And I spent most of my career with Community Asphalt as 18 years, to be exact. But I spent 18 years, and most of that was as a project manager.
As a project manager, and so that boss was a mentor to you, kind of showed you the ropes.
Oh yeah, yep, great guy. Actually,
Community Asphalt, is that the company you started with day one?
Yeah, day one. I put 18 straight years into working for Community Asphalt down here in South Florida.
Oh, that's great. Well, that's good. All right, so that's question number one.
There we go.
What the audience, the fans wanted to know. There was burning questions here for you.
That's it.
Since you haven't heard these yet, so I'm gonna rapid fire a couple more. Tony, what makes you laugh?
Todd, you make me laugh, man.
What makes you laugh, Tony?
What makes me laugh? I don't know. I just I'm the one that kind of adds the extra humor into the deal. I mean, you can't take life serious. I mean, but I guess everybody on my team, on the leadership team, you can't make it through a meeting without me throwing in some sort of jab at somebody. Right. That makes me laugh.
Yeah, for sure. Always lighthearted though. You're not like a cutting. You're the guy that's you're pointing out the obvious, but in a funny way, and
you just can't let it get too
quick.
boring.
You're quick, Tony. You got that wit. It's great.
That's it.
Todd, we got to show your fans that here on the podcast, though. We got to get a little more,
Oh, you want me to get into it, Todd?
Well, so the next question here, maybe I'll give you an opportunity to. What's the worst song ever?
Oof. Dude, it's got to be by like Wham or something, right?
Probably. I don't know. Wake Me Up Before You Go.
Is that even a Wham song? It is. That might be. That could be. Yeah.
Wake me up before you go. I think that was Wham.
Yeah. That's a good rendition right there, Todd.
Yeah. No, well, hold on. Let me get my drum machine. No, we'll do that next episode. We'll do that in the next episode.
There you go.
You think something by Wham? Really?
I was gonna say that's a tough one, but I mean that's a good guess right there. I think.
Okay.
Wham.
You like Pink Floyd?
You know what? I never really got into that kind of stuff. I was, believe it or not, like I got into Van Halen and Scorpions and kind of stuff like that. But
that's different. That's rock and roll.
I went straight into like the Sugar Hill Gang and followed that kind of that rap type stuff a little bit too. So
late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, but like if you looked at a playlist of mine through that era, there's everything, right? You've got the hard rock, you've got the R&B, you've got the rap, you got it all. So
yeah, no Wham though. There's no Wham.
No, but these days it's pretty much the old country has taken over. So
really. Like 100%, that's just what you're listening to?
I don't know about 100%. But
I mean, you're on the treadmill at the gym. Is country?
Well, if I'm on the treadmill at the gym, my kids will tell you exactly what I listen to. It's a lot of Dua Lipa radio.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's good.
Really good.
Yeah.
That's great. The kids keep us young with
I'm actually levitating right now.
But Pink Floyd, just back to that real quick. I think they're awful. I never understood it. And
I never did either. Like either that or the Grateful Dead, or I never could go down that type of music. It just never appealed to me.
No, I hear you. Fish wasn't bad. The Dead, I wasn't a big fan.
It's another one.
But I think it just sort of missed us,
Right.
As far as you get those important times in your life, and it's usually like when you're 18 to like 25, where you have all these life-forming experiences, and the music of that time is what you remember, right? So like Nirvana, Pearl Jam, all that Seattle sound, that was huge for me. And I still love it now, but it's like a time machine, it takes you back when you listen to it a little bit.
That's crazy. I actually went to, this might get into maybe I'm just anticipating what maybe one of your next questions is, but
okay.
I actually went to see AC/DC probably a year or two ago.
No way.
I'm thinking, all right, these guys, Angus Young is 64 years old or something like that. I'm telling you, I would have loved to seen him in his 30s if he could do that. In his 60s. That was an awesome
concert. Still impressive.
Oh my God, absolutely impressive. The only thing, Axl Rose actually had to come in and sing because I think is it Bon Scott? Is that the guy? Or maybe not. Maybe that was originally. Whoever the singer was had to. What's that?
Was Bon Scott the drummer?
I don't know. I guess we might have to do some Googling. But there is one of the singers has he was going deaf, like to the point of, hey, either you stop now or you're never going to hear again. And he had to cancel. The show got canceled. And then they put it on a few months later, and Axl Rose actually came in and sang, and it was, amazing.
Oh, no, yeah, he's a singer. You're right. Sorry, I'm thinking Bon Scott sounds like a drummer's name, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But Axl came in. So I saw Guns N' Roses 2 years ago at Fenway Park, and they sounded the exact same. They did not move at all.
I was going to say, he's physically... he's
sort of like a little shuffle like this and then shuffle back, but he sounded the exact same. His voice was incredible.
Yeah, I think when Axl came on the scene, he probably weighed, $130, $140. He may have been singing at 240 at that point.
He looks like a middle-aged woman now, but his voice
he sounded awesome. So.
Sounds terrific. Yeah, well, that's great. So that is one of the questions. What's your favorite concert that you ever attended? How did you know?
But I don't know if that'd be the favorite. I mean, that was actually good, but like the first concert I ever attended was it was in Buffalo. Back then it was called Rich Stadium where the Bills play, and it was Monsters of Rock, which basically had them all. I think you had a Megadeth, that Van Halen. The list goes on.
Metallica been there, or is that a little early for them?
Who was that?
Metallica.
They might have been there. I think that there was three big time names there. But the best part was, we were sitting nosebleeds. $30 or something like that for the ticket was basically everything I had at that point in my life, right? So we made it there, and I decided, you know what? Van Halen's coming on. Who's going with me? I'm going to get down there and I'm going to go right up to the front. And that was a battle of my life, but I ended up making it all the way up there when Eddie was singing or doing his Eruption solo. And I got to stand like directly, dude. It was insane.
That must have been amazing.
Yeah, it was.
That is the one band, probably of the bands I never saw, my favorite band.
Yeah.
Van Halen. Like, they were tops for me when I was younger. I loved them, but I never got a chance to see them.
But then again, I did see them down here as well years and years later. And, David Lee Roth actually was the best then. And I would never go back to see him again. It just definitely wasn't the same.
Yeah, no, I bet. Well, then they started changing lead singers. Van Halen did, right?
Yeah, Sammy Hagar was actually, I thought, way better. I don't know. David Lee Roth started it off and all that stuff, but when you got into it and that when Sammy got into it, he was he was a rocker for sure.
Yeah. So strange, these bands, how they can't just make it. Like, it doesn't seem like it's that stressful of a world, but they all fight and, they break up and they bring in new lead singers and all. I mean, even the Beatles weren't talking at the end there, right?
Yeah.
After all that incredible stuff that they had created. And they need culture, Tony.
Yep.
They need like someone like you to come in.
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
jokes, lighten up the writing meetings, right?
Yeah.
So maybe a little consulting on the side. You can work with rock bands and create.
I was going to say, dude, I mean, Keith Richards is still around. I mean, we could.
I think they were just all so friggin' gonzo, just so wasted. They didn't have the energy to fight.
That's it, man.
He was just getting blood transfusions after every show. Big Keith. So and I'll share with you my favorite concert of all time. Very surprising. I like to share this because you wouldn't expect.
Dude, if you say Wham,
it was Wham. It was Wham. It was Wham at the mall. I was walking by. No, I bet you that was a good show back in the day. I don't know.
Probably.
But no, John Cougar Mellencamp.
Really?
Incredible. He played at a place here. It's now called the Xfinity Center. It used to be called the Tweeter Center. Before that, it was called Great Woods. So anybody my age around Boston called it.
I could see that. I could see how he could.
It was amazing. It was like a beautiful summer night, and and I always say her name wrong, but that Michelle Endicello, I think is how you pronounce her name, she had this incredible booming voice, and they wrote a bunch of songs together, and this was part of that tour for that album. And it was just amazing, incredible. I went there with my friends. I heard the guy on the radio. I didn't think it was going to be much of a show, and I left there changed, Tony.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, man,
yeah.
I can look you in the eyes right now and tell.
And I lost my shirt. I don't know what happened to my shirt that night. So it was good night.
Awesome.
That leads us to our last question here. What's your drink of choice?
Ooh.
You're winding down here. Let's set the stage, right? This isn't just you're at Applebee's waiting for takeout. You're going to take whatever you see first. You like to hunt, right? You got your camps.
Yep.
You go to on the weekends. That's after a busy week. That's your unwind. You get out there on a Friday night, Tony. Maybe you get the fire going. It's Florida. You probably don't. Whatever it is, you're sitting outside. You're going to have a nice what?
I'm going to have a Corona with a lime.
Oh, okay.
That's an easy one.
Very nice, yeah.
That's kind of the go-to out there. I mean, that's kind of the go-to most of the time, right?
Yeah. You can't go wrong with the Corona with the lime.
I'm not really. I mean,
I know these beer snobs, Tony. They get in your head. These guys that tell you. You
like the Captain Reserve, and the old ginger. I can definitely relate to those.
Okay, is that Captain Morgan Reserve? Is that like
Captain Morgan Reserve?
Can you really tell the difference between a regular Captain Morgan and Captain Morgan Reserve?
I can.
Like, is it that much better? Yeah.
It's like the comes in that nice specialty bottle. It's the grandiose of the Captain Morgans.
Okay.
So
nice, man.
How about you, Todd? What's your go-to?
I love a martini.
Oh, dude, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, or two.
It's got to be clean, though, right?
No, sir. When you say that, it's got to be dirty. So, my standard order, which most anybody that's been out to dinner with me a few times probably can order for me, like my children, great sense of pride. That like a Grey Goose, up, dirty, no vermouth, couple of blue cheese olives if you have them.
If you have them, right?
If you have them. And some of the nicer restaurants will do that.
I've seen you ask for a couple more, halfway down.
Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah, freshen it up.
Why not?
It's an experience. If you get a good martini, a great bartender that shakes that thing till it's ice cold, it really is. It's more than just having a drink. It's it's like having a nice steak. It's
kind of like Pink Floyd. I never did like it, Todd.
Never liked the martini. It's definitely not for everyone.
No,
it's acquired taste. But yeah, it took me I'd say a couple hundred before I really started to like.
And that was just last month, right?
And that was September. Check the chart here. Yeah. No, all good, man. So what's cooking for the rest of the year? We'll wrap up here, but we're in the playoffs. Yeah, it's in the asphalt season. It's insanely busy right now. Somehow it really is still fun. We're having a good time, man. But it's like hand-to-hand combat right now, and just everybody showing up for battle every day. So next couple months. What's it look like for you?
Did you talk over me again?
I did. Yeah, this is this is how you're supposed to do this. You ever listen to sports radio?
You know how like the pitcher or the catcher goes, like when your hand goes down, possibly that's when I'll go.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so ready? So what's planned for the rest of the season?
Well, Todd, we're busy just trying to we're packing everything into the last, it looks like, 6 weeks here, which, it's crazy to think that we're already in October, and we've got to kind of wind down that first or second week in November, and it's a stressful time of year. Everybody knows that. You're in the sales, I guess the sales team, and everybody that has all these projects in the pipeline and looking to get done. It's just it's that time. Yeah,
it's a lot, and it feels like it's getting colder faster this year. Like we had, at least in the northern states, we had like an Indian summer last October, and it didn't really feel like the weather was coming until around the 20th or something like that. This year, it's like we're already having 40-degree nights in Boston.
No, it's crazy. Like just to see everybody in Pittsburgh and you in Massachusetts on the team calls. Everybody's got the warm weather gear on already.
I know. Well, there was our Wisconsin team on the call this morning.
Yeah.
We got
socks. Yeah,
our guy Mike who wears Crocs every day. Then once he puts the socks on with the Crocs, we know it's getting cold.
Dude, good stuff right there.
Yeah, all good, man. Awesome, all good. Well, this was fun. It's always fun. Episode 2 of the Pavement Group podcast.
Oh, and you went with a number.
Send your questions. So we had some friends that sent in some silly ones here, but it was good to talk about that. Get to know Tony a little bit better. He's going to be jumping on here with me quite a bit, and. But anything you guys want to know about the company or the industry or the marketplaces where we work, we love talking about it. We really do. It's a lot of fun. So, Tony, thank you.
Thank you, Todd.
You bet, buddy. And thank you, everybody, for joining us for the Pavement Group podcast. We'll see you again in a week or so. Hey, stay tuned. Follow our mission. Join our journey. Is that how it goes, or is it backwards? Follow our mission. Follow our journey. Join our mission. Boom.